Communal Talks.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Communal Talks, and today I have a very special guest. Drum roll to Blaze.
Hi, Comi.
Hi, Blaze.
How you doing?
I'm fine, very good. I'm so happy to have
Nice
you here.
to have you too.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, having you around.
Hey, thanks for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. Thank you. So today we'll be talking about this very important, sensitive topic, religion. So I've heard some persons would say that Nigerians are too religious. So I'm going to start by asking, is there a difference between being religious and being godly? So when people say, for instance, right, that we are being too religious, are they trying to say that we are being too godly, like we're being too children of God, either as a Christian or a Muslim or a traditional worshiper, whatever thing, whatever religion they practice? Could you enlighten us? All right, is there any difference between being religious and being godly?
First of all, thank you for having me once more.
Thank
you. Okay, so there's a very huge distinction between religious or religion and being godly.
Being religious and being
godly.
Religious
and being godly. Thank you. So when you say someone is religious, that doesn't, what that person is doing might not really be right in the sight of God. It's just based on the demands, and to an extent, religion is being affected, or should I say, influenced rather by societal belief.
Okay.
Let me cite an example. In the Redeemed Christian Church of God, right, in Nigeria, there are certain places you don't wear trousers as a lady. You don't go with your head locked or plaits. But in the same Redeemed Christian Church of God in the United States or far abroad Europe, you see people doing that, and no one is saying anything. So that's where you say being religious. But now these same people now that tend to, in Nigeria now, that doesn't plait hair or do all those stuff, they might not be godly. They might not be godly.
So they're just practicing
religion based on what.
Okay, so that is the distinctive difference between religious and being godly. So a person could be a church goer, or a mosque goer, but they don't have a relationship with God. They don't really have a relationship with God. So one who has a relationship with God is godly. So one who may not have one with him, but probably just attend performative. This man, you're too learned. All right, so that being said, I have another question for you. So I know that in a way this bothers you. Could you give instances where we are being too overly religious as a nation or as a people in this country of ours?
Let me say this. I watched a video just a few days back where the general overseer said, if not for prayers and by the mercies of God or something like that, that the exchange rate would have been 10,000 naira to $1. Prayers in 2024. I'm not undermining. It's funny. It's really funny because you expect someone of his caliber not to make such statements.
Wow.
There are many factors that influences exchange rates. As a nation, we barely produce, we barely export.
But we are just so fond of attaching everything to
religion,
prayer, all of that.
You see people
even in aspects, in cases where we're supposed to put in, hard work. Prayer is taking the place. Do you have another instance where, that's probably that is so heart-wrenching? Another instance where you think we are being too religious?
Okay, this might sound a bit controversial based on it goes against.
It is a very sensitive topic.
Yes, actually, it goes against our normal norms. Okay, so if you've been outside United States, they don't do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday working days, Saturday resting, Sunday for God or church, or every day is a working day for them. You understand? So based on the fact that they work per hour shifts. You could just do your hours, then any other time left for you could be between you, your God, your family. But here you see organization, companies shutting down on a Sunday. Sometimes even hospitals shut down on a Sunday. Sometimes you go, nurse don't go pray, doctor don't go, you go,
or Fridays
for Muslim
brothers. Yes.
There was a time I was in Mina, Niger State. I was really thirsty, like extremely thirsty. I needed to buy water, so I went to a shop and the guy was washing he hadn't even started praying then.
But he couldn't even attend
to me.
And he didn't have someone else. So that's why we're having an issue.
These are
so
the
nobody is saying to not practice whatever it is, even if at all. But it shouldn't affect the order of the day.
Order of the day is as simple as
getting that. Please, I hope our viewers can, understand. We don't mean to attack or say anything otherwise. People can practice
their religion.
Yes,
but you can still do without hurting someone else.
As long as you do it the right way and it doesn't affect the order of the day. Even in the aspects of economy of a nation. Yes, could you throw a little bit of lighting down? Like a person may think that when things are hard, it is because, say maybe hardship in a nation, they say it's because God is angry at us. How ridiculous, God is angry at us. That is why there's poverty in the land. Could you say something about this?
Okay, so I will start with this Bible verse that said, I think in 1 Peter 1-2 or so, that said, according as his divine power hath he given us all things that pertains to life and godliness. So I think shortly after we had our election last year, Argentina had theirs too. Just I think maybe a few months apart. But since their president, the newly elected president, was sworn in, they had a very good number of drop down in their inflation rates, percentage of their inflation in the country. Now come back to Nigeria. If you buy something today, let's say 100 naira, there's a very high probability when you go, not even tomorrow, that same day, the price will just skyrocket. Sometimes over 100% of that same price.
Truly.
You get
so this is not God.
This is not God. This is obviously not God. So any religious person or leader that comes and tell you God is punishing us, God is not happy. No, they're being deceitful. They're just being deceitful.
This is why we're getting it wrong. God has nothing to do.
God's hands are clean.
With the economy of your nation. It is either you're working hard for it or you're not. Exactly. And also the same God has told us to go out to work, because there's no food for the lazy. So you don't sit at home and pray for manna to fall from above for you. You also work.
You work with your hands.
With your hands and something. Let's have a quick break. Communal talks. All right. So we're back. Welcome back, Blaze.
Thank you for having
me. Quickly, how do you think as a people, as a nation, how do you think we can break out from this curse?
Actually, it is a curse.
The religious issues, it has clouded many people's judgment, sense of reasoning, and so much more. What do you think, as an individual? Because the change that we want to see starts from you and I. All right.
Okay, so I think we tend to underplay the role of sensitization, right? Just like what we are doing now, we are sensitizing people to, in as much as you are being religious, that's one very key way to curb this menace. I want to, pardon me, I'm using the word menace, or this mentality, sensitization, whereby you don't just allow logic and reasoning play out, allow it to play out. And I cited an example before that if I'm on the highway and the vehicle is coming and I'm saying, oh, I'm a son of God, I have the spirit of God, I have the life of God in me, I don't look right or look left to see if there's and I'm trying to cross the road, I will get around by the vehicle. You get, now I didn't just endangered myself, I endangered the life of the driver and so every other passenger around. So just give way for logic and reasoning, and common sense.
I like that.
I can't be in the church or in the mosque praying, Father, I need money, and when I'm done praying, I'm still at that spot. I don't
without
go
doing anything.
without doing it. It's not too comfort.
I like
not
that.
too comfort.
This is it. This is the end of this show. Thank you so much,
Thank
Blaze.
you so much.
See you next time on another episode of Communal Talks. Have a nice
Bye,
day,
guys.
Communal Talks.